Welcome one, welcome all to Get Off My Ass. Now this show, it was created for one purpose and one purpose only. To make a mockery of my own generation. It's a long time coming. You needed it. You needed it big time, my generation, man. You needed a wake-up call. I did too when I was younger. But my generation is like, I call my generation the eternal generation of... Well, hold on. How would you say it? They're basically... my generation's full of babies. Little fucking babies. And I can't stand it. There's... eventually when you grow up, you become stronger. The older you get. Not in my case, from my generation, it just got weaker. Intellectually and physically. In every way. Well, for instance, men. Men are wimps. I'm not going to lie. Effeminate wimps. Yeah, I said it. I think it needs to be said. I'm not the definition of masculinity in any fucking sense. But goddamn, why has everybody got a bleeding heart? Why are men so overly sensitive? Like, it's okay to have some sensitivity. Go for it. Most of the time, let's just face it, men in the audience listening who are little effeminate people, if you got this far without crying, why are you just pussies to get in women's pants? Because I think that's the reason. I see this happen a lot. You act like pussies just so women think you're sensitive, but then women end up being like, God, this guy is such a vagina. Because women are terrible and vindictive, by the way. Women are mostly vindictive, terrible people. So are men. But the difference is how both of them treat each other. My thing is, how in God's name do women stab each other in the back? That always freaks me out too. I just don't trust women either. Look, I don't trust... So here's the two people I don't trust. Two types of people. I don't trust effeminate men who have no balls and who... Because weak men will backstab you. Let's face it. Weak men will backstab you. The oversensitive, bleeding heart types. When push comes to shove, if they have an opportunity, they'll fucking stab you in the back. It's that simple. It's played time and time again throughout history. In human nature, weak men... and weak women, and just women, I don't know. I'm not trying to be too sexist here. I'm just annoyed. All right. By the way, I wanted to make this show so I could give a proper analysis of the world from the way I view it. And also, I like to get hate mail. I love hate mail. I love it when people just spam my inbox saying, you're a fucking loser, you're a fucking piece of shit. I need that in my life. I'm like Tom Brady in that sense. The more criticism I hear, the more like, fuck yeah, baby. I want to fucking eat your ass. Yeah, that's right. So, I don't know. I hope most people think I'm a raging psychopath, because I probably am. But I'm a successful one, Success, what's the old saying? There is no stigma attached to success. If you're successful, nobody cares how fucked up you are. And that's true. Look at all the celebrities out there doing cocaine and having weird sex. For instance, R. Kelly's a great example. R. Kelly had weird sex with young ladies in their teens, peeing on them. And people knew about this for years, by the way. And all of a sudden, now it's suddenly a problem? Now look at society. Look, like I said, there's no stigma attached to success. If I want to become successful, sure, maybe some people in my hometown will get jealous and be like, wow, how did that fucker get successful? I mean, I already am technically really successful based on standard age group, but I got assets up the ass, fuckers. So that's another thing I want to talk about. Get off my ass about the money. Yeah. I know how to accumulate wealth because I'm not an idiot. I don't rely on cash to build wealth. I use my cash to build wealth. I use my cash to build cash flow. And I'll teach you guys that. Man, Get Off My Ass is really just actually, hold on, I want to tell you guys something. This show is actually inspired by a show called Get Off My Lawn by Gavin McInnes. I love Gavin McInnes. And that may get me banned for life, but I love Gavin. He is the greatest. He is the funniest. And he's a realist. The most sincere guy. Like, you may not agree with him, but he is sincere. And if you don't appreciate sincerity, well, I feel bad for you. He is the most sincere guy I've ever listened to. It's awesome. So my main thing is I was inspired by Gavin McInnes to do. So Get Off My Ass, though, is kind of inspired by just the fact that I basically had to say that my whole fucking life. You know, like, get off my ass, dude. Come on. Get off my fucking ass, you cuck. You know, stuff like that. I mean, I've had to basically say get off my ass my whole life. People are always telling me how to live my life. And this is people who are not successful. Fucking always broke, buying new cars that they can't afford, people who buy houses that are fucking liability. If you're going to buy a house, buy a triplex, fag. And then, you know, there's so many things. I really don't like my generation. I think my generation is a bunch of fucking crybabies. Yeah, I'm being a crybaby about my generation. I'll admit it, but at least I can admit it, though. I admit I don't like the fact that actually baby boomers and my generation are basically the same generation in a weird sense. Both incredible pussies. It's just ugh. I don't know. Anyway, the point is, it doesn't really matter. I'm tired of the way society's going. Look, it's good to have empathy for people. It's good to have compassion. And I believe that. But also, I do believe in small doses, is that okay? You can't be a little compassionate fucking baby all the time. You have to stand your ground. You have to be emotionally sound from time to time. Unless you get rich. Then if you get rich, that's one thing. Or if you have enough cash flow to where, like, I can quit my job whenever. Technically, I'm almost at that point, which is fucking awesome. So close. But, no, my main goal is to... Basically, I've done everything in spite. I guess as a final note for this, because I'm only going to make this, like, 3 minutes longer. I do everything out of spite. I mean, not out of spite, not everything. Hold on. Spite is like the lighter the spark that's needed to light the cigarette. Let's use cigarettes as an analogy. A cigarette, I could put it in my mouth, but it ain't gonna start doing anything. It ain't gonna start flowing, right? There's gonna be I won't be able to smoke it unless there's a flame. I need the fucking flame. So spite I use as like a flame to get my actions going. And also thought. I have a lot of vision. Vision's also a big igniter for me. I'm a big vision guy. Visionary. You know, I'm always thinking. Always visualizing. Seeing things. All these concepts in my head. And it works. You know, the more concepts, the more you think, the better you get. You know, but the more you do, the better. Look, like thought and money, actually, I like to correlate in two things. So, like, thought, a good idea is like fertilizer in a bag, right? In a sack. It's no good sitting in the sack. Same with money, by the way. If you don't put your money to work, it's just going to sit there and depreciate in value. My thing is, I use every idea. I try to, at least. I use the majority of the ideas that I think will work. And some that I don't. I'll make a prototype. Most of the time, though, I'm just really good at accumulating wealth. I've mastered the money game to a point. I still like it. It is a game to me at this point because I am such a Jew, by the way, that you have no clue. I'm a Jew. Probably the biggest Jew that you've ever met. My point, though, is to end all forms of I want to end this political correctness culture. There's so many things that I want to start and I want to end. I want to start, first off, more entrepreneurs. If I was to say one thing, I'm really an entrepreneur deep down. Capitalist, straight up. I don't believe socialism solves any problems. In fact, it creates status quo and mob mentality. By the way, one more time. Socialism, any form of collectivism mostly, creates a mob mentality and a too much group thinking. When you're in a group, you become dumb. It's like Agent K fucking said in Men in Black. And I'm going to fucking tell you guys this. A person is smart. A person is smart. People are dumb. So the moment when you're in a group with people, you become dumber. And that's just a fact. So when people are left to their own devices and left to think for themselves and left to be creative and imaginative, that's when things start happening. Leonardo da Vinci didn't start getting his great ideas in a group. No. He went and he delved into his imagination, looked at the world around him, thought for himself, read some books, learned a few things, and did things, and was creative. That's something my generation lacks. I think there's a strength in numbers, not intellectually. Intellectually, there's no strength in numbers. Makes you dumber. I mean, it's good to collaborate. It's good to communicate. If you're working with a team, you let your team do their thing. You give general direction, like, hey, we need to get this done. Here's the vision. Here's the goal. You guys do your thing. I'm going to go do my thing. We're going to make this happen, right? That's the way the business world works. The way most stuff works. So I think eventually America's going on the right track, and I think we're going to be a better society. But hey, I'm going to end this episode right now. I want to thank you so much for taking the time to listen to the first episode of Get Off My Ass. Many more to come. I love doing podcasts. Too fun, too sexy, too fresh.